That is absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Hi, I was wondering if my Tesla has Starlink, as I have premium connectivity and pay $9.99 a month, which I can cancel at any time. I live on Orkney at the very top of Scotland. Some of the islands, including me, have lost Wi-Fi on the 16th of March, as the cable connecting us from the mainland was accidentally cut. But my Tesla can get Netflix and YouTube on my touchscreen. Hi folks, I'm Nigel. Thanks very much for joining me today. Hope you can subscribe, as it really does help the channel, and a like if you did. Please comment down below if you have something interesting to say. Now, originally this video was about, do Tesla have Starlink, when you signed up to premium connectivity. And although they are not confirming or denying, my experience does seem to indicate that they are, as we have absolutely no Wi-Fi here. We can only use roaming on the iPhones, but we can get Netflix on the Tesla touchscreen. And no one else on the islands is able to get Netflix. It's nice for us, but not too brilliant for everybody else. So originally this was about Starlink and Tesla, but I must confess I'm quite angry at how Wi-Fi providers and phone companies are treating their customers. So anyway, I live in the North Isles of Orkney. My island has 350 occupants, but there's about 500 people affected in the North Isles. So people have no Wi-Fi or phone connection, and this has been going on for about 3 weeks now. I've been using roaming data for my phone, which is getting quite expensive. I've texted Tesco's, my provider, who say it's not their problem, as I'm not a Wi-Fi customer with Tesco's.
Oh great, just when I need a goddamn car sale.
Despite news reports to the contrary. In fact, Tesco's have said, oh, it's already fixed, so there's not a problem. But that's not the case. So I've also tried EE, my provider, and asked them to stop charging me. But they're pretty much very, very difficult to get in contact with. So I can still watch Netflix and YouTube in the car. And I must admit, Jen and I are into a couple of Netflix series, and we've been coming out to the car for a couple of weeks to watch it. It reminds Jen of movies when she was a girl living in Canada. With the heating on and the seats tilted back, it's really very nice with a drink and maybe some chocolate. Recently I upgraded to the faster speed broadband at EE, but they carried on charging me the old fees as well as the new. And I spent hours on the phone trying to get them to refund. So I was paying the old fees and the new fees. And they said I should have cancelled the old fees. But I was saying, well, that's crazy. When people upgrade, you just carry on charging the old fees. That is absolutely the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I got very nowhere with them. They said there was a recording where they told me to cancel. And I asked them to send me the recording.
These are terrible.
And I've never heard the recording where they told me to. And
Joy, you haven't been screwing the salesman, have you? Well, have you?
it's going to take some time to repair the broken cable. It's all dependent on good weather and the ship being available. It's a very specialist ship. I'm not sure how long it's all going to take. Hundreds of people paying on average £50 a month or more for Wi-Fi and phone, but they're not getting anything for their money, and they're paying a lot for additional roaming charges for their mobile phones. Well, you could say serves me right for living on a remote Scottish island. So Tesco provide my phone and a limited amount of data, so I have to pay for more data to use browsing on my phone unless I go to the car, and it's unlimited. And it's comical when they tell me the problem is solved when it certainly is not. I'm only with EE for Wi-Fi and found out today that EE mobile customers here are getting free unlimited roaming. So I'm going to phone Tesco to see if I can get the same. I've sent many messages without any luck, knowing how long a phone call might take. So I've just got off the phone from Tesco's, and remarkably it was only 10 minutes. They weren't going to do anything originally, but I told them that EE customers were getting unlimited data. Now Tesco's weren't prepared to do that, but they gave me an additional 5 gigabytes, and also my wife, but who will be using a lot more than that. So it's a sort of a partial win. Now EE, I wanted a refund, but they said that when it's repaired, we'll know exactly how much we have to refund you. And I said, so I'll have to phone back in, will I? And they said, oh, no, we'll do it automatically. But if you haven't heard anything within the month, phone our accounts department. So I thought, well, I suppose, yeah, that kind of makes sense, that they will carry on charging, though we're not getting anything. Funny, isn't it? Instead of stopping payment until we start again and figure it out. But that's the way companies like to do things. They like to have your money and then give you back if you can prove that you haven't got what you are paying for. So back to the original idea, are Teslas connected to Starlink? And is this the reason why I can watch my touchscreen and watch Netflix and YouTube? You can do a limited amount of browsing, but it's a bit clanky and you often sort of cut out. So reminds me of using a computer 20 years ago as far as the browser is concerned. It's quite slow. But overall, it's another plus for owning a Tesla, because we come out in the evening and watch our favourite shows on Netflix. My wife also likes the idea, if we have a outage here, prolonged, and there was no heating in the house in winter, that we simply come out and we're not burning up ridiculously dangerous fumes, and we're staying nice and warm. I was thinking of changing the Tesla to one of those cars, aren't many, where you can plug in and power appliances to your home. But now I think the fact that we can watch Netflix, YouTube on the car screen when there's no Wi-Fi is very much a big plus, and it's one of those things that we really didn't expect, and some of our neighbours think we're a bit crazy, but there you have. So in conclusion, the conclusion to this video is, I don't know. So if you're thinking of buying a new Tesla, there's a link down below. It's just been used by Richard, thank you very much, who will be getting some free supercharging miles, and so will I. I always enjoy everybody's comments. I recently had someone telling me that my car is powered by mostly coal. I think it was from the United States. Welcome views from all over the world. But he's wrong, because we don't have any coal going into the national grid in the UK. And he's completely wrong. And I find that kind of comment quite irritating. You only have to look at the national grid figures daily, weekly, monthly, just to see where our electricity is coming from, and more every month is coming from renewables, wind, solar and wave. And I can see 5 huge wind turbines in the distance, and all around me. My neighbours have got them. They're just everywhere. And there are some people believing that us Tesla drivers are really powered by coal, which is so dated, and I wish some people would just come up to date. And it's just needed to say that, because there are some facts that are so out of date, it's quite embarrassing for those people. There are many myths about Teslas. This is one of the, what I've just been talking about, is one of the big pluses, where you can watch Netflix. Yeah, you've got no Wi-Fi, yippee, but there are just so many. And a lot of people will tell you that an EV depreciates a lot more than any other car, but it's not the case. And there are a lot of companies that are very interested and need to know. Leasing companies need to have accurate information, and that's why there are companies that specialise in detailed information, so that a leasing company, if it's going to buy a particular car, needs to know how it's going to depreciate. And there are many cars that depreciate a lot more than a Tesla. BMW, Audi, Mercedes all depreciate more than Tesla. Toyota, Ford depreciate. There are only a handful of cars that depreciate less. Number one is Land Rover, Volkswagen a second, Porsche a third, Alpine and Dacia, and then come Tesla. And after that, Maserati, Mini, Renault, BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen. And so look at some of the facts and you can see that a Tesla is pretty near the top as far as depreciation is concerned. But I'm not selling mine. Why should I? After I've had it 4.5 years, the best car I've ever had, there is no reason to sell it. It operates fantastic. It's a lovely drive. It's great. And I think that the biggest fear of the ice age of people at the oil companies, people who work in garages, dealers, people who manufacture internal combustion engine, is for people to start driving electric vehicles. And this is why at the Fully Charged show they have so many test drives, and they get as many manufacturers as they can there, so people are having test drives and they realise once they've driven it, albeit for only 10 minutes, they'll want to do it more. And certainly anyone who's ever had one of these for a day is never going back. I'm certainly not. And I'm looking later on this year, I don't know if I'm driving or not, might be flying down to the south of England, the west, and I'm looking at hiring an electric vehicle, which is difficult with the major hire companies because they can't guarantee they'll give you an electric car. So I'll probably go into Turo, which they like the Airbnb for car hire, and you hire a car for however long. And I'll probably be doing that because then you know specifically what car you're going to get. If you're thinking of buying a new Tesla in any country, please use my link and you'll get extra supercharging. And so please take a look at some of my other videos. So thanks very much for watching me today. Take care. See you next time. Bye.